Hello and welcome back to this week's Bedtime Stories with Meath Library Service. So we're continuing to read The Supermarket Ghost, written by Snell. So far we've realised that something tragic happened to Davy and Maria's trying to help him. So we're up to the part where they're going to try and find Davy's Aunt Lily. So let's continue. Chapter 7. Maria's at the petrol station. Maria remembered that Paddy Breen owned this petrol station as well as the supermarket. She wondered if he had swindled somebody else to get that. Paddy called out, "Well, hello, Maria. You seem to be turning up everywhere these days. Are you following me like a private eye?" Maria decided not to answer back and to be polite. She would wait and enjoy Paddy's reaction when he got the letter tomorrow. "Hello, Mr. Breen," she called. "I was just out for a bike ride." "You won't need any petrol then," said Paddy Breen sarcastically. "I guess not," Maria smiled. "Then you can stop sitting on the wall of my petrol station." Maria was furious, but she didn't show it. She jumped off the wall and grabbed her bike. "I'm sorry, Mr. Breen," she said. "I didn't realise it was just for customers only." Paddy Breen just glared at her. Then he grunted, turned and walked away towards the petrol station. No manners, that's his problem. Maria was startled to hear Davy's voice just behind her. She turned around. "Hi there," he said. "Hi, Davy," said Maria. "Shall we head for Aunt Lily's? I'll come some of the way with you." "Why not the whole way? I could do with a bit of encouragement." Davy looked sad. "I've tried to get there often, but after a couple of 100 metres, my power seemed to sort of fade out." "Maybe this time you'll make it to the cottage." "Let's hope so. Come on, I'll run beside you." Maria got on her bike and began to pedal along slowly so that Davy could keep up. "You can go faster," he said. So Maria pedalled faster. Davy seemed to be falling behind, but he said, "Carry on, Maria, I'll be fine." She went on pedalling fast, looking at the road in front. Suddenly Davy's figure appeared about 10 metres ahead, running fast. He turned and waved and went on running. She overtook him and he told her to keep cycling. He fell behind, then suddenly appeared again in front of her. After a while he stopped. She caught up with him. She stopped too and got off the bike. "Are you all right, Davy?" He seemed to be gasping for breath. Then Maria realised with shock that his whole face was getting fainter. So were his clothes. He was slowly vanishing before her eyes. "I'm sorry, Maria. It's happening again. I can't go any further." Davy's voice was getting weaker. "Go on past the crossroads. You'll see the cottage at the end of the field on the left. If I can, I'll wait for you on the way back, near the petrol station. Good luck." He raised his arm limply to wave and then disappeared altogether. Maria felt a sudden chill come over her and she shivered. Then she grabbed the handlebars and got on the bike. She pedalled as hard as she could. It wasn't long before she reached the crossroads. She got off her bike. On the far side of the crossroads she could see a field on the left and a cottage standing on its own behind the straggly hedge. The cottage was made of stone and had an old green door which needed a new lick of paint. There was a window on each side of the door and a slate roof with a number of missing slates. Maria wheeled her bike over the crossroads and leaned it against the hedge beside the broken gate. The tiny garden was neglected and overgrown. This didn't look very hopeful. The place seemed as if it was deserted. Maria went up the path and knocked twice on the door using the rusty metal knocker. She waited. There was no sound, only the wind whistling in the bushes. The sky was a heavy grey colour and it looked like it would rain again soon. Maria knocked again. She put her ear against the door. After a while, she heard shuffling footsteps inside. Her heart was beating fast. As the footsteps approached, she heard a key turn in the lock, and then with the creaking sound, the door slowly opened. Chapter 8. Inside the door stood a big woman in a dark green dress with a white collar. She had grey hair with frizzy curls and glasses that hung on a cord around her neck. "Hello," she said with an air of surprise. "Hello," said Maria. I was looking for Mrs. Lily Duff. That's me, said the woman, though Marsh is my married name. Are you collecting for a charity? No, I'm doing a school project for St. Mary's National School. My name is Maria O'Malley. I wonder if I could talk to you for a few minutes. Maria said, producing a letter from her school about the project. Of course. Come in. Mrs. Marsh led the way through a small dark hallway into a sitting room, crammed full with furniture and ornaments. There were lots of chairs and small tables, all piled with books and newspapers. Two big armchairs stood on either side of a brick fireplace with framed photographs on the mantelpiece. One was of a smiling couple in a garden. A boy in shorts stood between them. Maria saw with shock that the boy was Davy. Do sit down, Maria, said Mrs. Marsh, pointing to one of the armchairs. She sat down opposite and listened as Maria told her that they were collecting stories from older people about what life was like when they were young. Well, I'll do my best to help you, said Mrs. Marsh, but you might find my life rather ordinary, I'm afraid. Oh, it's the ordinary things that are interesting, Maria said eagerly, like what games you played when you were children, before there were PlayStations and such. What kind of food you liked. Oh, I'll be happy to tell you anything you want to know. Just ask away. Maria took her notebook and pen out and put her tape recorder on the table between them. You're a very efficient reporter, Mrs. Marsh said. Maybe you'll work for a newspaper one day. Maria smiled. That was exactly the sort of career she dreamed about. Thank you, she said. Now, first of all, Mrs. Marsh talked about growing up in the town, her school days and the strict rules that they had. Then she talked about her job she had helping her brother in the grocery shop and then getting the job in the pet food factory. The grocery shop, said Maria. That would be Duff Grocers where Breen's supermarket is now, yeah? That's right. You've certainly done your research well. My father is a baker and he supplies bread to Breen's every day. I help him during the holidays. Oh, of course, O'Malley's Bakery. So that's your family business. I remember your father as a young lad long ago. He used to help his father, just like you do now. What was the shop like when it was Duff's Grocers? Asked Maria. It was really more of a corner shop originally, but after my brother died, his son and his wife took it over. They were wonderful. They worked so hard, and everyone liked them. They were able to expand. It was a real success story until someone started tampering with the food. How do you know about that? Asked Mrs. Marsh sharply. Oh, I just heard some rumours, said Maria. Well, I'd advise you not to go spreading them around. It could get you into trouble. Besides, it's too late now for the family. We can't bring any of them back. They're all gone, all three of them. It will be the anniversary soon. Just 20 years since the terrible day. Mrs. Marsh was gazing at the photograph on the mantelpiece. She started to cry quietly. Maria was more determined than ever to help Davy to get revenge. I'm sorry, said Maria. Is that them in the photo? That's right, Mrs. Marsh sighed. Maria stood up and looked at the picture in the frame. Davy's father had long hair and an open-neck shirt. His mother's hair was curly and she was wearing a smart dress with a white collar. Between them, Davy stood with his hands on his hips, grinning at the camera. It was exactly like the eager smile he still had now. Lily said, They were a lovely family, and Davy was a great boy, full of fun and fantastic schemes. He was about your age. You'd have liked him. I'm sure I would, Maria smiled. It's strange, when I see him smiling out at me there in the picture, I almost feel as if he hadn't drowned at all, that his presence is still around, and he might walk in the door any minute. She sighed to herself. Maria felt herself shiver. She glanced towards the door, half expecting to see Davy appear, but there was nothing there. She sat down again. Mrs. Marsh went on. It seems so unfair the younger generation's dying first. Now there's only me left, and I may not be here for that long. Well, not in this house anyway. You're going to move? Asked Maria. I'll have to. I just got a letter yesterday saying the landlord wants to put up the rent. I won't be able to afford it. Maria saw her glance at some papers that were on the table. She saw the top one was a letter with a printed heading saying, PJB Estates. Mrs. Marsh was frowning. She looked up at Maria and said, Anyway, this isn't any help to your project. What else would you like to know? Maria asked a few more questions and then took a photo of Mrs. Marsh with her digital camera and asked if she could take one of the family portrait on the mantelpiece. Certainly, she said. It would be good to have them remembered in your project. Maria cycled back towards the town. She was thinking sadly about Mrs. Marsh and all she had been through. She wished there was some way she could help her. And then she thought maybe there was. Excited by her idea, Maria pedalled faster. She would talk about it with Davy if he was there. She just hoped he'd be beside the road where he had said. Okay, so tune in tomorrow to see what